Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Spicy Divorce Party Planner TV show. I'm your host, Spice, and today I have my longtime friend, William Vinegar. William, where are you representing today? What city?
I'm representing Watts, California, Cassandra.
What's up with Watts? Okay. So, yeah, what's up with Watts? I've been there.
You've been there.
I actually live there, believe it or not.
Well, where did you live at in Watts? I lived off of 92nd and Hooper.
I,
That's where I stayed at.
I was staying with my friend in Imperial Gardens. Is that what it's called?
Oh yeah, you stayed in the we called them the
the,
PJs.
the
I mean, we
PJ.
know yeah, we know they projects, but they actually called them the PJs anyway. So yeah,
Yeah,
Watts, California.
I still have some friends over there. So, and I actually used to live in Compton too, believe it or not,
Oh yeah.
and
I
Long Beach.
mean,
Okay, I've been around the way.
well, I've been to all three places, Compton and Long Beach as well. Yeah.
Okay, so
Uh,
now I was going to ask you about that because I noticed that you said you grew up like your teenage years in Watts. Now, what was that like as a teenager? What was like dating the girls there? Was it
well,
a
you know,
good experience or bad experience?
well, to be honest, I actually didn't try to date any of the girls that stayed around me. Only
Oh,
because, only because we all grew up together. We all knew each other anyway, and I sort of knew how they was gonna be as teenage girls. When you plan as little boys and girls, you sort of see
hmm,
where they're gonna, how they gonna end up when they're teenagers. So I
yeah.
tended, so I tended to stay away from that. I
I
tended to go.
like I don't blame you. Like if you know they're not about anything, then why get caught up? So I totally understand that.
Yeah, so I mostly dated girls that was on the west side,
Okay.
west side of LA. Yeah, so
Okay.
that's what I did.
No, I don't blame you too. Like there's a difference in different parts of town, but every once in a while, there's still good people even in the parts of town that are not the best. You know what I mean? Because we were there. We're not the bad.
Well,
You
yeah,
know.
I know.
Right.
Yeah, I had one. Yeah, I had one girlfriend, but that was basically it. Most of my other girlfriends were like in West LA, over towards that way, over towards mostly towards like Lusinger, Westchester, those areas right over there.
Okay. Um, I was going to ask you. I know that you worked at the LA airport, right?
LA, LAX Terminal 2.
Yeah. Hey, representing
Yeah.
for LAX. One of my favorite airports is like down the street from where I stay. Um, but so I know that you have like a lot of experience in management.
Yes.
It's what I've noticed when I read your resume. Like, yes, supervisor positions and management positions. Now, how's that come into play with dating? Like, does that make it difficult for you to date because they might be intimidated by you because you're in management positions, or is it just like you can't date anyone at your job?
Well, I mean, different places have different rules.
Okay.
Like this place, like where I'm working at now at LAX, you
Hmm.
can't really date anybody who you working with, but if you wanted to date someone that's working in another terminal, you can.
Oh,
You know,
okay.
at AutoZone, the same thing, but at Staples, when I worked there, it's like totally forbidden. You know, so
Mm.
I guess it depends on the different jobs and the different companies that you work for, basically. And
Yeah.
basically,
Yeah.
and basically, me working in retail, I meet so many people every day. I mean, yes, at the airport, of course, but even in my earlier history of working, yeah.
Hmm.
So you meet a lot of people and a lot of females as well. So
Hmm.
yes.
Yeah, we're gonna talk about that in a little bit. We're gonna touch more on that subject.
Okay. All right.
Have you seen anything exciting or any like celebrities at the airport since you worked there? Have you seen anybody get tackled like in the airport?
Well, Well, I've met Ice Cube.
Oh, nice. He's so cute.
Met
You met
Ice.
Ice
I took
Cube?
a. Yeah, I met him. I took a picture. Took a picture, not with him. I took a picture of him. He
Mm-hmm.
let me take it for one of my cashiers,
Nice.
and also I took a picture with Chili from TLC.
Oh,
That's actually up on my Instagram page.
what is your Instagram page so I could check it out? What is your URL or the handle for it? How would we find you on Instagram?
Oh, you can find me at the Mighty Sosa
Mighty Sosa? Okay. So if we could check out
on
those pictures.
Instagram.
Okay.
You
So
check
you
out what I'm sorry. Yeah.
okay. So we can see the pictures of the celebrities on there. Have you ever seen anything interesting like anybody get tackled?
Yeah.
Yeah, I can imagine so. Like probably some people trying to smuggle some drugs in the airport.
Like someone smuggled something through the airport.
Yeah.
Oh no, haven't got a chance to see that. I mean, you see people bring like food that's not supposed to go, or they'll take your deodorant.
Mhm.
They took my, what I'm saying, they took my Kenneth Cole one time. But the thing is that sometimes you can get with some things which is messed up because they're not really watching. But yeah,
Mhm.
I
Mm.
haven't seen anybody smuggle nothing. No takedowns or anything like that. No.
No, not yet.
Surprising. Not my terminal, but in Terminal 5, Tom Bradley. Yeah, it'd be, what I mean, it'd be like, you know, people up in there like you need to be taken down, or I'm being unruly. Up in that one, yeah, but very rarely up in Terminal 2.
Okay. There's probably a lot of drunks at the airport too, right? A lot of buzz people, right?
Oh yeah. Oh
Yeah.
yeah, I mean dealing with customers that come off the plane that's already drunk, or what I'm saying, that's what I'm saying, a little bit more tipsy.
Mhm.
I had to deal with I think I had to deal with three ladies that you could tell that they were like tipsy and they wanted to
Oh,
drink some more. And I couldn't
I,
allow them to drink. Yeah, I couldn't allow them to drink anymore because they had already had enough.
I wonder if they're coming
And
from a
luckily,
divorce party. Here
hello?
we're over here with William Vinegar, and William, I noticed on your podcast 10 Minutes that you like to talk about different things that are going on in the world and like politics. And like I'm not a big politics person because I hate arguing with people.
Uh-huh.
Have Have you ever dated someone who's like on the opposite spectrum of you, like in politics, and you were dating someone and maybe it caused you relationship problems? Like maybe they want to vote one way and you vote the other way.
Well, well, to be honest, I mean, a lot of girls I dated, and a lot of girls I dated, they tended to show a little bit of empathy. I mean, apathy. I'm sorry, apathy as
Uh
far
huh.
as voting. Like,
Okay.
um, I don't want to do it. If you do it, it doesn't matter. You know, my most recent girlfriend, hmm, I think she was a Democrat.
Mhm.
I think she was a Democrat. She was what you call one of those what they call them, like bleeding heart liberals or something like that. I mean that
Mhm.
terminology or something like that.
Yeah.
But me, I don't consider myself a Democrat or Republican anyway. I
Okay.
consider myself independent.
Okay.
But
Gotcha.
yeah, but that never really like ruin any relationships like that. Only thing it would be like she would like, why are you getting so mad about that? Like
Mhm.
why are you getting so mad about about this particular person doing this particular thing as far as politics?
Uh huh. Yeah, I was wondering how you deal with that or how most people deal with it. Yeah, because sometimes, like, I notice when I'm dating someone and their issues, their beliefs are way different than me. It kind of like I don't know if we could be together for too long because I'm like, but it doesn't weigh heavily on you then, right?
No, I guess when it comes to that, I guess when it comes to that, you know, you have to be like a politician. You have to
Okay.
learn to compromise. You know what I mean? Okay, you don't like this person, I do.
Okay.
But there might be certain things that that person does that, that you like, and some way you can compromise with the situation.
Okay. So we mentioned that you talk about politics on your show. What else can we expect to hear on your show? Do you ever talk about relationships or what are some of the main topics that you talk about on there?
Well, I talk about politics. I uh I talk about certain events. I talk about I would take like certain articles, like I talk about Florida, like I have a segment called Floridian Tales where there's like weird things that's being said and being done in Florida, like weird stuff like, a story like I did a story about a guy in Florida who was eating pancakes in the middle of the street.
Oh
I
wow.
mean, not sitting down in the middle of the street, but he was sitting in a chair eating pancakes for breakfast, stopping traffic
Oh,
on a
that
major highway in Florida. Just examples of weird stories like that.
yeah, that is weird. That would draw someone's attention. Yeah, people are gonna like tune into your show. They'll be like, "What is he talking about today with those Florida people?" Yeah,
Yeah,
I haven't heard much about Florida people, but besides probably like some crazy incidents, like
yeah,
where they're a little bit prejudiced or behind, but I haven't heard crazy stories like that.
yeah, and I do. Yeah, I mean, I do stories like that, and I talk about sports.
Okay.
I mean, I plan on doing my own sports podcast. So I kind of trended off a little bit. I kind of trended off of sports due to what's going on anyway right now. So kind of
Okay.
trended off that. But um, I try to when I talk in my podcast, I try to take a satirical look at the uh, using my comments in a satirical way.
Okay.
Like when I talk about Donald, like when if I talk about Donald Trump, I try to be satirical with it, trying to use a story, like a story that intertwines with what he's doing and how both of the stories are dumb, but they're similar. You know?
Okay.
But yeah,
Yeah. Well, I'm sure a lot of people will be interested in your show because you cover a variety of different topics. And it seems like more geared towards the male population. I think they could relate to you because they're like more involved in sports than most women, I guess.
yeah. But I try, like I said, I was going to try to tend off of not doing sports. I mean, not doing sports. Just have something separate on that. But that's like a little bit further in the future, though. So a little bit
Okay.
further in the future for that.
Okay. Why did you create this show? Why did you create 10 minutes?
Well, I felt that all my life I wanted to either be a politician or someone on the radio.
Okay.
And even though I've had different retail positions, management positions, and whatnot, I've always felt that that was my calling. I needed to do that. I
Mm-hmm.
mean, people needed to hear what I had to say.
Mm-hmm.
You know, um, sometimes sometimes people need to hear certain things from need to hear certain things from certain people that they're not getting from anybody else. So
Yeah. Yeah, I agree with you. I like how you stepped up on my Facebook, like, and we have a topic and we're discussing Biden. And it's funny because I thought there'd be a lot of black voters voting for Biden, but he's getting a lot of scrutiny. And so you were able to defend him or at least defend why we shouldn't be voting for Trump, because like people are going hard on me, like, you know,
Well, you know,
making it seem like Biden is like molesting kids or a pedophile, this and that. But there's a
well,
lot
you
of
know, I've never heard of him doing anything like that. You know, I've heard those stories about him having affairs and stuff. I heard that, but I ain't never heard of anything about with no kids or anything like that. No, I
I
ain't never
think
heard of
a lot
that.
of propaganda. I mean, I see a lot of videos and interviews and people that are making allegations, but there's also many used towards Trump, you know. So I believe people try to persuade you with like propaganda, like what they've been doing for like decades. But I'm glad
Well,
that you're able to you're able to speak as a black male, like from your viewpoint, because there's a lot of people on my Facebook, their views are so different than mine. It's just interesting to hear like males from two different viewpoints to see like what is the truth and what's not the truth and who actually has facts to back it up. So I'm
yeah.
glad that you chimed in on that.
Hmm.
And
Well,
I mhm.
well, I mean, I like healthy debates, you know, when it comes to politics and everything, but I refuse to debate a conspiracy theory. I refuse to do that unless
Thank
you
you.
have unless you have facts behind it to back it up what you're saying.
Yeah,
Because
because I'm listening to them. I'm like, am I the only one that's like, what is going on here? Like, where is this coming from? I'm like, am I the only one who's not like, hi? Like, where's this coming from? I just don't get some of their viewpoints. Like you said, conspiracy theories. I'm like, madness to me.
yeah, you know what I mean? It's crazy. And I'm not trying to hear that, you know.
Yeah, I'm glad that you spoke up on it because they don't want to take it from me, but sometimes they have to hear it from a male, you know, and a
Yeah.
black male. Like they are gonna come for me, like the little mixed girl, or whatever. But like maybe if they'll listen to reason from another black male, you know what I mean? So I don't know.
Yeah.
Um, that's what I encounter on Facebook, and I'm like, I'm not really heavily into politics, but I'm like,
Well, you know,
I just can't.
I mean, for me to just speak one more time on that,
Yeah,
I had seen the post that the guy he said that I respect his ignorance, and I think that's what set me off.
you're
Like,
like, who
how can
respects?
how can you respect a man who's I'm not saying that he didn't. I'm not saying that this president didn't have the proper education and stuff. I'm pretty sure he did,
Yeah.
but he just acts like he's ignorant,
Mm-hmm.
and you respect the ignorance. You know, I mean,
Yeah.
I think I put that as a question of the day on Facebook because that just I mean it pissed me off because like how can that come out your mouth? You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
And you know, Kenny is actually my friend, and I know him
Yeah,
personally, and we've done things together. So I really like him as a friend. But as far as the
yeah. I mean, I
politics,
didn't
I'm like,
want to.
wow.
I mean,
Yeah.
that's my opinion of what he posted. You know,
Yeah.
I, that
Yeah.
was
Because
just
I
crazy.
can't respect ignorance. I'm like, and he said he can respect a racist. I was like, I
No,
don't. Yeah.
uh-uh.
I'm not behind any of that. So that's why I asked him if he's going to vote or what is his solution to this. Because I was trying to see what is his solution to this. Is he saying we shouldn't vote at all? And I have an issue with not voting at all because that's how come Trump is our president now. Because a lot of people just did not vote. So that's the reason why I do have to vote. You know, I want to have some purpose. Um. So going back to politics, you did study in college, right? So this is why it's of interest to you, right?
Yeah, I wanted to be I wanted to be a politician. I actually had I actually had a plan on how to get there. You know, I was going to do 2 years in community college,
Mm-hmm.
uh, another 2 years at a UC, and then hopefully get an internship in Washington, become a congressional aide, get the ins and outs of Washington D.C. and hopefully come back home and run against. I actually thought I wanted to run against Maxine Waters.
Oh wow. Wow.
To be a congressman and everything. I
Hmm.
actually had thoughts of doing that.
Do you
But the
still
program,
think about do you still think about going that route? Maybe taking some classes?
well, like, well, to be a politician, you don't need to go to. You have to go to school. You know what I
Mhm.
mean? Go to college. So it look good on your resume as a politician.
Mhm.
But you know what I mean? Life lessons and learning as you go. You know what I'm saying? I think that makes for a good politician. Makes for a good politician and having substance. You
Yes.
know, and having
Yeah.
substance. You
I
know,
agree with you on that.
yeah.
Well, I'm liking that you're already speaking up on your radio show. So you are combining your interest or your dreams. You're doing it and living it by talking about politics and having your radio show. So you don't have to go the route that everyone else did. You just took control and you're doing what you wanted to do, right? And
Yeah,
still working.
yeah, still working. Yeah,
So right.
I think it's too late for me to be a politician.
Mm.
But I wouldn't mind. Going back to school, maybe get my associates and maybe working on a campaign or something like that. Maybe. But
Okay.
right
Well,
now,
you have to keep me updated on that
all right.
because it sounds like it's something that's pulling on your heart. How has the coronavirus affected your love life? Do you think everyone should be tested for the virus?
Well, I think everyone needs to be tested for the virus, yes. And as far as my love life, yeah, I'm alone right now, so yeah. So I'm alone, right? So that's self-explanatory right now. So he's there by himself. He's there by himself. There is no one there, so we know how his love life is. So he ain't having
So the
nobody there.
coronavirus is
So
providing you good then, right?
I guess I put it like this. If you're single, then it's a damper on everything. But if how you say now, if you boot up or
Mhm.
you're a couple, then hey, and if you're a couple and you actually like each other, like being around each other a long extended periods of time, then hey, it's all good. So
Mhm.
I guess you gotta look at it at both of those both ways. That's the way I look at it. If I'm single, then it's a damper on everything. But if I'm not, and I like the girl that I'm with, and I like being with her all the time, then yes, then hey, I
Okay.
like it then.
Yeah, I've also heard stories that the couples are getting annoyed by being around each other so long that they're starting to fight, and there's a lot
Yeah,
of
you know what I
domestic
mean.
abuse
So,
calls because of that. They're just spending too much time together, so it's
so that's
crazy.
just yeah, so that's just telling you right there that that they may not be meant for marriage. You know what I mean? Because
Mm,
marriage is, that's for the long haul. So
long ago. Okay. Speaking of marriage, you said you've been divorced for over 15 years. Would
yeah.
you ever get married again?
Mm. Well, I guess I would.
You would? Okay.
Yeah, I guess I
Oh,
would.
you would?
Meeting
Okay.
the meeting the right person and
Uh,
getting to know them and who they are and what their faults are, and they getting to know what mines are, and if we can agree and we like each other and we like spending time together, then hey, let the relationship blossom. But
okay.
yeah, so I can see
Okay.
myself getting married again.
Okay, because I'm always surprised. I've met people there, and they're like, "I never want to get married again." I'm like, "Really?" But then there's people who've gotten divorced, and they're like you. They said, "Yeah, they wouldn't mind getting married again." So I guess it just
Right.
depends on how bad their relationships were.
Yeah, how bad, there you go, how bad the relationship is. If it was a very, like a real, real bad one, then hey, that turns everybody off. That would turn me off if
Hmm.
I ever had like real, like real toxic
Yeah,
relationship. I mean, I've had
yeah.
bad relationships, but not toxic to the point that, I would
Like
say,
I'm,
yeah, I
like
would
I'm
say
done
I
with
hate, I would hate someone,
this.
I would,
Hmm.
not none of my relationships, no.
That's good. Do you think a lot of men have issues with being in a monogamous relationship?
Well,
I'm like, yeah.
to be honest, well, with me, to be honest, it was hard for me, especially when I was younger. Yes, it
Okay.
was hard, very hard, because you know my first management position at Staples, it was a high position. I was young. I was married then,
He's
and
like, I
I
was
was married.
married then.
I was married then, and my daughter was born, and it used to be, women. I mean, women walking. I mean, in the store shopping,
Uh-huh.
and you know, the female managers at other stores. You know, and you get tempted. I'm
Well,
not. I'm not gonna lie. I'm not gonna lie about that. You get tempted.
okay.
You get tempted. For me, I got tempted.
Okay.
Yes.
I have a question though. Since you were married, did these women know that you were married? Did they like see your wedding ring, or did they just not care? Or you didn't care? How'd that go down?
Well,
How'd that work?
you have to have. Well, it would have to be like a. Some of them knew and
Okay.
didn't care.
Okay. Wow.
Uh, some of them I didn't tell at all. And then when they found out, then they didn't want to mess around anymore. Now
Did
those
you
were the
not
bad
wear your
relationships.
wedding ring? Were you wearing your wedding ring? Or were you not wearing your wedding ring when you were talking to these women?
The ones that knew I was married and didn't care, they knew I had a wedding ring.
Okay.
Now the one that those now the ones that I said that I wasn't married. No, I didn't have my ring on.
Oh,
No,
you would just take it off?
take it off.
Where'd you hide it at? Where did you hide it? Come on, tell us.
I would put it in my pocket, or I would put it in my pocket, because that would be the place where I know I can get it and put it back on quick. I would never put it I would never put it in a place where my ex-wife would know, like, oh, he sat it down somewhere. Only time a man's supposed to take off his wedding ring is when he washing his hands. You don't want it to go down the sink. You know what I mean?
Mm. So you hear that, ladies? You better start checking your man's pockets because that's where they're hiding the wedding ring. William just let us in a little secret there. Look in them pockets, ladies. You hear that? So,
Well, that's
so
why I hit mine.
going back to this situation, do you think where a man works, does that affect how faithful he'll be to a woman then? Because you're saying
Yes,
because you worked in retail, so like
yes.
maybe a man who works at a bookstore might not have as much temptation. It just depends on where he works. Do you think that really affects it?
What you mean, a man who works in a bookstore? Is that what you said?
I'm saying like
Or are you just talking in general? You just saying in general?
just in general, like yeah, like do you think there's more temptation at various jobs than say like working at the bookstore or
Well,
working at a nightclub?
I'll tell you this. For a man, if he works in retail, and if he's in management, and he has to deal, with the customers, and he has fellow female managers that he works with, or that's contemporary that works at other stores and he has meetings with, then yes. I mean, retail to me is the hardest place.
What about
'Cause
like a nightclub? Do you think that make it easier for a man to like stray than if he worked at a
oh
nightclub?
oh yeah, at a nightclub. I mean, I guess a nightclub would be number one. I guess number two. I guess
Yeah.
number two to me would be retail, working in
Uh,
retail, and then number three probably would be, hey, if if you're an athlete, if you're
mhm.
an athlete,
That's true. So
yeah.
do you think women should like make their man stay at home and work from home then?
But then we'll get back into that conversation about the corona, about corona, is the coronavirus ruining your love life? You know what I'm saying? So
Yeah.
we'll rewind back over that again. So
Yeah. So
um,
I guess there's no way to like um bulletproof our relationships because they're kind of like I'm like we never know like when a man's gonna cheat then because it could be at a job where there's a lot of women coming in and out then.
yeah, I mean, that's the thing. Most of my relationships, including one with my ex-wife,
Hmm.
there was, because I worked in retail and working long hours, I always, even if I wasn't doing it, what I'm saying, I always got accused of, seeing other females or dating somebody there at the job. Why are you there so late? I said, hey, because I work. Hey, because I'm a manager. I'm working salary, so I have to work at least 10 hours. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So a lot of my relationships ended because of that simple reason. It's because of that simple reason. The
Hmm.
long hours that you work there, working
Yeah.
in retail. If
Okay.
you're a man, I mean, if you're a manager, you know.
Okay. So I think a lot of ladies watching my show now they're gonna tell their man to stay home. They're just going to work from home. I'm like, dang. Make sure you don't marry an athlete. Make sure you're not with someone who's in the uh, clubs and nightlife or retail, huh?
Yeah. Well,
Okay.
I mean, yeah, in that order, yeah. Retail would probably be third, you know what I mean? But it's definitely hard to have a relationship as a manager in retail. I
Oh,
know that for a fact.
and you're going into another temptation zone, radio, right?
Mm. Yes, I'm gonna have my own radio station in June. In
Well,
June,
that's what I'm saying. Isn't that
yeah,
another
on
temptation?
Citrus3.com.
Okay.
Citrus3.com. But you said another temptation.
Yeah, if you're on the radio station, you interviewing all these guests, you
Well,
might come
yeah.
across some other dateable women.
Well, yeah, because my station is gonna be mostly. I'm gonna try and do old school hip hop.
Hmm.
I'm thinking about doing. I'm thinking about having some R&B on there as well.
I like
I mean,
R&B.
maybe have like how Art Ledbetter. Art Ledbetter. Yeah, that's his name, right? Art Ledbetter for
Something like
iHeart.
Art LeBeau. Is that who it is?
Art. Oh yeah, I'm sorry
Yeah.
about that. But he, have a show like he has on Sundays, but not with like the old stuff that he does. You know what I mean? Because he becomes digging out the crates for some stuff too. I
Mm-hmm.
was gonna do mostly like I start from the I would start from the 70s, 80s, and 90s,
Okay.
and the zeros. I would
Yeah,
have a show.
I
I would have
love.
a show like that.
Yeah, I love R&B and love songs, so I'll definitely be listening then.
Mhm.
Do
But
you
right
think?
now,
Uh-huh. Go ahead.
well, I was gonna say, but right now that's just in the infant stages. But in June, I should have it up and running in June. So,
Okay. We'll definitely be looking for you in June then.
all right.
Do you, do you think it's smart to be friends with an ex?
I guess it depends on the relationship that you guys had before.
Okay. Mm-hmm.
If it was a good relationship, well, it depends on the situation. The relationship that you guys had before,
Mm-hmm.
and the person. If you're dating someone else now, depends on how they feel, how they would feel about it too.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because you can have a good relationship with your ex, but once you start dating someone else and you start talking about them, or they calling you and they texting you, then there's going to be an issue there, and there's going
Yeah.
to be suspicion.
Yeah. That's
So
so. I don't. So you're not saying yes or no, right? I don't know
I'm
how
not.
to.
Yeah, because I can't. I mean, that's kind of hard to. I mean, that's kind of hard to answer though, because it all depends on the individuals involved. You know,
Okay. Okay.
because like I
Okay.
said, you can have a good relationship and it's cool, but the person that you dating now, are they cool with it?
Okay.
Some of them are, some of them not.
That's true. Because I'm like, I don't. Or baby mamas too. That's a whole other story. I don't like
Yes,
dealing with
you know what I
baby
mean.
mamas. Like, oh god.
Yeah, dealing with drama like that. No one wants to. Really,
Yeah, if
they
they're
don't.
cool and like just laid back or whatever, and not bothersome, then it's a little bit easier to deal with someone. But if they got like some crazy baby mama, like, yeah, stalking you in
Yeah,
the bushes, it's like stalking you in the bushes, calling every 2 minutes. I don't want to deal with that.
yeah, because I don't want to. Yeah, don't nobody want to deal with that at all.
Don't nobody want to do that. Uh, let's see. Did you have difficulties raising your children after divorce?
Well, the only difficult thing it was having relationships after my ex-wife,
Yeah.
because that was tough on my daughter,
Uh huh.
because she be with her mom and then she come over her daddy house, and then I wasn't the type to like bring female after female after female over there. No,
Mm-hmm, sure.
like, but occasionally, I would bring a girl, bring a woman over there that I cared, really cared about. You know what I mean? And they introduce them to my daughter, you
Mm-hmm.
know, and she would get upset. Sometimes she would have fits.
Uh huh.
You know, she would.
Do you think it was her own doing, or did it have to do with the mom? You think the mom was putting thoughts in her head?
Mm, back then, maybe, maybe,
Hmm.
but me and her mom always had a good relationship, so I
Oh,
couldn't see her doing that to me purpose. You
okay.
know what I mean? She might, slip and say, like if my daughter say, "Oh, daddy has Veronica over," and then
Hmm.
she might slip and say, "Oh, she had that such and such over," and then like
Oh,
that.
I know those stories all too well.
Yeah. So yeah.
Yeah, so that's kind of rough then. After a
Mhm.
divorce, like raising your kids.
Yeah, especially when they young. Yeah.
Mhm.
It was
Okay.
rough. Yeah, it was rough on her. She always used to act up. Always.
Oh.
Always. Always.
Wow. Yeah, I
Well,
remember that too.
except
Like
for
when my
one.
mom was dating people, I didn't like who they were dating most of the time either.
Mhm.
What have you learned from getting married and then divorced? Did you learn anything from that?
Well, I learned from getting married.
And then getting divorced.
What I learned from getting married is that it's for the long haul. You have to put in more effort. Um, you just can't be. It just can't be about you. It's about us.
Hmm.
And then as far as like divorce, Are you talking about the good or the bad of it, or just
Just in general, what did you learn about, the process of getting married and then getting divorced? Is there anything, did you realize anything after going through all this?
well, well, I realized through divorce that eventually over time, time heals everything,
Okay.
regardless of regardless of what happened between me and my ex-wife and my daughter. Time heals everything.
That's
So
true. Yeah,
yeah.
that's true. It may take a while, but it does eventually heal. So
Hmm.
going back, since you're a guy and there's a lot of women that watch my show and men have so much different temptation, is there anything a woman could have done, like maybe your wife or just a woman in general, so that their man would not cheat on them?
Mm.
Or was there just no stopping it? It's just like you just seen fine women and they're
Well, I guess I guess it's a two-way street. I mean, with me, I guess with me it's like I was gonna do what I wanted to do,
hmm
but I didn't have to do that. You understand? I mean,
hmm
you know what I mean? But
hmm
on her end, she could have been more understanding of me working the long hours that I did. You know, she could have been more, you know, I mean, not so naggy, not so naggy all the time, you know.
Oh, do you think that kind of drove you to looking at other women, was the nagging?
Well, I mean, not just nagging, but more of her understanding the situation that we're going through because at that time she wasn't working. I was the only one working,
hmm
and I was working long hours.
Yeah.
And if she was more trusting, and you know, more trusting of me being able to do what I needed to do and do the right thing. But I still didn't do the right thing. And maybe the way that she was acting led me to that,
Okay.
but I didn't have to do that. So
Okay. So do you think now that you're older than back then, do you think the temptation's the same or you kind of calmed down a little bit?
well I think I've well I think I've calmed down a lot. I mean
Okay.
a lot. A
Okay.
lot and everything.
So how
I don't think the way I used, I don't think the way I used to,
okay.
It's Muhammad Ali said what? He said if a man turns 50 years old, he's still thinking like a 20-year-old, he just wasted 30 years of his life.
Yeah.
And what he meant by that, that 30 years you're supposed to do whatever you need to do when you're young, but as you're doing that as you're young, you're supposed to be building as you're doing that. You know,
Wow.
you're supposed to be building as you're doing that.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense.
Hmm.
How old are you now?
I'm 46. I just turned 46.
So,
March 29th.
oh, happy late birthday. I'm a Pisces, so a March baby as well. Mhm.
Oh yeah, I seen it. I think I seen your birthday post. It pops up in there, yeah, up in there. So I see it.
Thank you. Well, um, I have a question then. So, what age do you think you started to slow down where you were not looking like you didn't feel so tempted with women?
Hmm. I think by the time I turned 30, 38,
38? Okay. See,
38 started to slow
so that's
down.
what I'm saying, women, like, don't take these men seriously until they're like the end of their 30s. Because
Oh,
until
you
then, it's
tell them
like
that?
just fun
That's
and
it. You know what? Yeah, that's probably true.
okay.
Because by that time, I think a man should know what he wants.
hmm
A man should know what he wants and know how to get it, So by 37, 38, I already knew that, it's time for me to just slow it, just like real slow it down, just be a one woman type of guy if it comes along, just slow it down.
Okay, so ladies, you hear that? Like late 30s once again. If you're looking for a man in your 20s, you might just be wasting time. Just all
Uh,
fun and games till then. Our show's about divorce and breakup parties. What is your view on celebrating the end of a relationship?
if it was a bad relationship, if it was a bad relationship, then you should be partying all you want.
Okay.
That's what I believe. That's what I believe. If it was a bad relationship, go ahead and throw you a party, have you hosted and have all the party favors or whatnot. But if it was a relationship that was how would you say amicable, like
Hmm.
both parties agreed to do it. I mean,
Hmm.
agreed to break up.
Hmm.
I don't think you should have a party off of that one because that seemed like it's sad on both ends and everything. I couldn't see two people like if they break up amicably, that means they actually tried and they just couldn't do it, and it's still feelings there. You know what I mean? And they both party, they both partying and stuff. I couldn't see them doing that. But if it was a bad relationship, then yeah,
Okay,
go ahead
gotcha.
and go ahead and hire spicy.
Okay. What do you think would be a funny breakup party? Have you thought of anything funny?
A funny breakup party
Hmm.
probably would be, I don't know, have a comedian come over and joke about divorce. A
Okay. Or
female, a female comedian joke
okay.
about joke about joke about divorce.
Okay. Or
I think
maybe
that
roast an ex too. No, just
there we go. Yes, a roast of your ex. Well, that would be. But how could anyone, he or she, sit there and take that? You know what I mean?
that'd be
But
funny. I would. I'd be like, you could roast my baby daddy any day. No, just, I'll pay you that $200. No, just
that's what I thought. When that's what I thought your divorce plan. I thought that's what it was going to be based on. Like, I'm trying to figure out how can you be a divorce planner and stuff.
I'm a
It's
divorce
got to be something with like
breakup
jokes.
planner. It's the divorce breakup party planner.
Yeah,
That's
but that's what I was
so
saying. Yeah, that's what I was saying. It has to be, it has to be like some type of, you know, you have to roast in there or something like that.
yeah.
But
And you
it's
definitely
original.
gotta have some drinks. Just
Yeah, it's original though. It's
thank
original
you.
though.
Thank you. Um, if you had a crush on a woman, do you make it clear or do you play it cool?
It depends on the vibe that she gives.
Mm-hmm.
If she's given to me, I mean, I've to me, I've I've lived long enough to see how when a woman, I mean, I don't know everything about women even to this day, but I know when I see certain things, certain vibes that I get, I
Mm-hmm.
know that, she likes me more than she likes me more than just a friend.
Mm-hmm.
Like, once I start getting that vibe, then I go ahead and pursue it further.
Okay.
But but if I'm not getting that vibe, but I feel that there's a potential that it could go there, then I just play it cool.
Okay.
I say something I say something a little flirty or something like that, see if she laugh off of it or something.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Okay. So you know when to act up and when to say something and just to, other times just to chill, right?
Yeah.
Well, what are your thoughts on long distance dating?
Well, it gets complicated.
Okay.
It's complicated. I don't really like it.
Me either. I mean, you could love the person and all, but it is so hard when they're not in your face and you can't spend
Yeah.
time with
Yeah. When they're not there and they're not there with you at all, and you thinking about them and you wonder if they're thinking about you and what they're doing, and it's like I wouldn't recommend them, you
yeah.
know. you have to have a real strong relationship when it comes to that. You
Yeah.
guys have to have a real strong bond to be able to deal with that. But the question is, how long is it gonna keep being long distance? You know what I mean?
Hmm.
Is either one of us gonna try to meet in the middle, or is one of us gonna go there? Is one of us gonna come back here?
Yeah.
What's gonna go on? Um,
I have another question pertaining to this. Um, do men lie to the women out of state? Like, do you tell them that you're not messing around with no other woman? Like, say you got a girl in New York right now. Do you tell her that you're not messing with anyone, but yet you're still messing with someone in LA?
yeah, because well, yeah, because I
Oh,
mean,
okay.
if you're a guy like that, then yeah, you would say, oh yeah, baby, I don't got nobody out here. It's just you know, it's just me. I'm lonely. I want you, and you way
Hmm.
out there in New York. But some guys, yeah, they do that. Yeah, they have some, somebody on the side out here.
Hmm. So, do you think there are some men that are faithful though, that they would really be waiting and not messing around with any woman in LA?
Well, well, yeah. I mean, it would be like a percentage. You know what I mean? Like a percentage. But I believe this it's men out there that the it's men out there who want to stay faithful, even though she's like thousand miles away. That will
Hmm.
stay faithful.
Okay.
Who believe, if they both believe in the relationship, if he believes in the relationship.
Okay. Um, let's see. How do you usually deal with a bad breakup?
Mm. Well, what you mean, like personally, the,
Personally.
like the feelings?
Well, the feelings are like, what do you usually do? Like, someone broke your heart. Like, how do you usually deal with it? Since you're a guy, I want to know.
Oh, I guess it depends. I guess it's different degrees. Like if I barely knew her, then hey, it's no big deal. But if
Hmm.
I knew her for some years, and we got a lot of history together, and especially if I'm the one that messed up after time and time and time again, then hey, I probably have me some Hennessy and ginger ale.
Okay. I think that's
Hennessy and
a lot of
ginger ale.
people's solution is some alcohol.
Yeah, have some Hennessy and ginger ale and try to knock back the pain. You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
yeah,
I think a lot of people will agree with you on that.
yeah.
How can we find out more about your show, William?
My podcast,
Yeah.
you can follow me on Sprecher.com. That's the main platform that I'll be on. I'm on
Okay.
Sprecher.com. I'm also on Spotify.
Okay.
You can download that on Google at Google Store. I believe at Apple too. And
Okay.
I'm on Deezer, and I'm also on Podchaser.
Okay.
I use those platforms as well for
So will
my
we just look up?
podcast.
We just look up 10 minutes then?
You just look up 10 minutes with William Vinegar. Now you have to put in the whole thing because kid you not, there's people who have podcasts that's called 10 minutes.
Oh wow. Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
So yeah, we'll definitely look for William Vinegar, you guys. 10 minutes with William Vinegar.
hmm And you can follow me on those platforms.
Okay. Um, thinking back about some of your exes, what are some of the most unusual things that they did?
Unusual things. Oh, that's easy. Like I had got my I had got my I had got my ex-wife a job at Staples.
Mm-hmm.
And it was one morning we're running late. Well, not actually, yeah, we're running late. because I had to be there at a certain time. And she was busy in the bathroom putting on makeup and everything like that. I'm saying, what are you doing?
Uh-huh.
You had like 2 hours to put that on, and you still trying to put that on? And then she said, well, I want to look good for you. I said, okay, but I'm about to leave. And she said,
Yeah.
you're not gonna leave. I left. I had to be at work. I'm
Right?
sorry. I left. Yeah,
Yeah.
so I left her there and I didn't come back. So she had to
Oh my gosh.
so she she had to catch the bus to get there.
Oh yeah,
But
she's taking too long.
yeah, she just taking too long. I don't know if that's unusual, but that was unusual to me. You know what I mean? But
Yeah.
yeah, it's
Yeah.
just crazy.
Yeah, women do spend a long amount of time trying to get dolled up and put makeup on. I know I even do, and sometimes it could be a drag, but yeah,
Yeah.
it's just part of our ritual, I guess. Yeah,
Well,
with the wife.
you get used to it. I mean, I was younger then, so I
Hmm.
was like, "Come on, let's go." You know what I'm saying? But now, I guess I could deal with it.
No, we.
Just be like, just don't be like 3 or 4 hours. You know what I'm saying? Then
Oh
I'm
no,
definitely gonna leave you.
no, we. That is a strange thing. That is unusual because uh, women we get dressed in the car sometimes too, or like putting our makeup on in the car. So it
Yeah,
is unusual.
I'll be like,
Almost
okay,
drive put lipstick on like this.
I'll be like, yeah, you just spent like 2 hours in the mirror in the bathroom. Now you up in the car putting on makeup. I'm like, wow, man.
It's true. I'll have to confess to that one. I admit it.
Yeah.
Um, any last words for an ex?
Well, mm, well, for my ex, God bless, be true, and stay gold.
Yeah, that's William Vinegar's signature. Stay gold.
My signature remark. Everybody knows I said it too.
Yeah, I like that though. Stay gold. That is cute. Okay, well at least you didn't flip them off like some of our past guests have
Well,
flipped off our
but
show.
that's what I was saying. That's what I was saying. Some relationships are bad, some are good. Some
Yeah,
ended amicably. Yeah. So.
yeah, yeah. William's just cool and laid back, and we learned a lot about him today. All right, William. It was nice hanging out with you tonight,
All right.
and I look
Thank
forward to
you.
watching your show or listening to your show.
Well, I'm gonna have one. I'm doing episode 5 tomorrow at 6 p.m.
Okay.
The stimulus, and
It's
you can check them out on the platforms that I told you earlier. Yes.
okay, so it's not live. It's pre-recorded,
Mm.
right?
I think I'm gonna after this one I'm gonna start doing live ones. But
Okay.
after this one's gonna be pre-recorded, but it's gonna be videotaped though. But
Okay,
it's gonna
good. So
be
I can
pre-recorded
watch it
though.
then.
Yeah, you can watch it. Yeah, you can actually see me in action. Yes.
Okay. That's nice. All right, so we will definitely check out 10 minutes and thank you. You have a nice night.
All right, you too. Thank
See you
you.
later. All right,
Bye.
bye.